Okay, here we are, the 15th day of November 2011, Precision Racing League. This is Canada. We have our formation lap here where we are lining up, qualified 8th on this race. Have a little bit of a problem with starting on time again. We'll be addressing that, I think, in the future for the following races. But we finally got going here, I think, after a restart. I think we had an initial start. And had to restart because we have some drivers that dropped out of the race, so we had to restart it. And I guess we'll be researching another rule of when the restarts really should happen. Okay, here we have the opening lap here. Qualified 8th. Disco, of course, is in front of me. I think the 4 guys, I think, up front here qualified at around a 13. There's somebody just took a flyer. That was John Robb there. And I think Phil is right behind. I think the 4 of us qualified in like 1:10, about 0.4 of a second apart. So it was pretty close right there. And as we have the opening laps here and making the opening comments. Again, getting different times, of course, doing a time trial mode. Was able to get some high 108s. Their disco goes a little wider. Try to take advantage of that. Now I see I lay off right here. I want to hit them. Yeah, 108s, high 108s, 109s. Yet I think for the race here I was only able to do like a 111, so probably holding back. Now I did have a problem, and I think we were talking about the initial tires. And there goes Phil. Now see, I didn't hit Phil here. I think we were commenting about Phil might have got punted here, so we'll have to see what happens here. If I did, I didn't do it intentionally. Well, let's see what happens here. Now Phil made a nice move right there. Although I'm running the T-cam, other folks here are running the in the cockpit. And okay, now somebody turns right here. Yeah, I take them right here. That's a good move right here. Yeah, they hold up right there, so I get around them cleanly. Yeah, what comes to mind here is, it's a long race. Again, lap 3 is actually lap 2 for us. We did a installation lap on the first lap here, so just trying to get in the groove here. But was able to do overall get some practice in this week, and of course get some laps in here this afternoon before the race. So that always makes you feel a little more comfortable. I'm trying to redeem myself after the poor performance in Monaco last week. So here we're sitting pretty steady. Again, Wolfman is 4th. I don't quite know. I think Moogle's, of course, Joel. I think Pink Tank might be up there as well. All the usuals up front. And of course, then you got your mid-pack level guys and guys taking up the rear. Yeah, the first start we actually had with this was pretty good. I think it was about 6 laps into the race from a standing start, and we had to restart it. And I think Moogles was actually leading at that point. I was actually up to 4th, so pretty satisfied here. So at this point, have a little bit of a gap on the back markers, or the people behind me, I should say. Maybe I'm a back marker, but there's a little bit of a gap here, and you can see that, of course, from the standing. Of course, you can watch the lower left corner of the track map. Gives you a sense on where the other guys are ahead of me, and behind me. Yeah, the one area I was having little problems with during the week was this turn right here, but I seem to be all that practice does pay off. Although I think I had a little bit of problem with some of the chicanes up here, but just didn't touch a wall all race here. Again, we're on a 35 lap schedule for 50% race. Probably running a little slow right here, but okay. So Pink Tank sets a 1:10.6. My best is 1:13.4. So realize at this point I'm well off the pace. It is interesting though when you practice and you're not in the racing format that you tend to push a little more. And here, of course, I don't want to make a mistake and take myself out of the position. One of those areas right there that I think I'm a little slow. So of course we'll do a multi-part video here. I'll just go ahead and make comments here throughout the whole video, and then of course I will just divide it as I see fit. I think it stays pretty good here. I think the pits are calling me right there. I don't really. No, J Digital I think had a bad start back there, and I'm not sure we saw the start. Yeah, I go ahead and I pass on the pit. I take the straightaway here. My feeling is I just want to keep doing laps. I don't think my tires are that worn, but I'm kind of getting into a groove here, and I really didn't want to stop, right? Although I think it was set up as a 4-stop. Yeah, one other thing I know too is that we were supposed to start on the tires we qualified, and I was trying to go to a prime option, a prime tire, and then for some reason I got stuck with these options. Now when I went ahead and tried to adjust that before the start of the race, I was getting this conflicting strategy. And yeah, with about whatever, someone hit the start button. I think I tried to answer to get some more time, but I couldn't get the strategy to start me with prime and then do option, prime, option. It would always come back and say it doesn't like it or it's invalid, right? Or that the fact that the first stop or the second stop the tires would be too worn. So I think I broke a little rule right here. I'm not sure it actually helped me or not, but as you can see later in the race here, myself and the guys just behind me, I don't think I'm really in touch with the guys in front of me. They pretty much walked away at this point, and the race was really between myself and the guys behind me here. Although J Digital does come up here and does take the lead, or does pass me, of course. Although I think I end up seeing him at the last final laps. Okay, so as we're watching the track map here in the lower left corner, you can see me in the red dot there, and of course you can see that Disco comes by me. Phil is right here, and maybe this is where a case is. Phil said somebody hit Phil, and I'm not sure if it was me or not, but let's see what the video says here. Again, commenting here on the wee hours of the morning here of the after the race, about 11:30 Central Standard Time here. Okay, so Phil's ahead of me here. Yeah, somebody hit Phil, and I don't think it was me, but I think he said it was me. Here he gets a little squirrely right here. Although I think I end up collecting him up a little bit, but it's what's interesting about the videos is as I'm watching this replay, I'm just trying to remember what was going through my head. So as I just make general comments here, yeah, for some reason I try to communicate with the room or something, and for some reason I hit it. Now he goes a little wide here. See, I lay off there. I don't drill him. I wasn't watching the throttle. I should probably go back and look at the throttle. Yeah, I think he goes in for his stop here. I think because I see. Let's see, does he go straight here or no? No. Let's see if I take him here or not. I'm usually pretty good about hacking people, so I try not to do that. I try to give them the race room. I don't like to get hit, so of course you want to race others as you like to be raced, and you don't want to go slamming. I think that first start we had was pretty good. Actually, I think a lot of the guys walked all over me in that start. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, now who's that? That is that's Disco. Disco's off once there, and I'll keep track of that. And there's some key elements right there. I think that might have been the race right there for you too, Disco. I think in the end we swapped positions here a little bit between pit stops and flying laps, and I think that's one mistake right there. I think there's one or two mistakes that he made, although I think Disco got a little late to the race. And a nice setup right here though by Disco. He just walks right by me. Total DRS zone here. And I realize he's coming at this point. I'm trying to get on him, and at this point I draw up here, and I'm thinking, okay, you're just too far behind, so just sit tight. And these guys go straight, and I'm like, well, that's good. So that worked out for me. At that point, I realized I think I'm on the prime at this point. Now I don't know about this, I'm a little confused when I go ahead and try to set up. I think that's J Digital that just came out there. I'm a little confused when I tried to again set up the tire to a prime tire, because I did some option laps for the qualifier, and then I went to prime for my remaining laps. Although my fastest time was on prime, so I'm not sure I think I have to pay more attention to the tires I have and the kind of outlaps I have with the particular tires, so I know what I'm using. I guess I'm not really thinking of that. I'm just trying to lay it on the quickest time I can, and not thinking about the the pit strategy after the time trial. But I think what I had here was I started with option, everything else was prime, so I was running prime most of the day. I think just because of the fact that when I tried to set up the strategy, it wouldn't allow me to take the strategy. I think it gives you a menu option of canceling or exiting or something. It just basically said that my second or third stop, my tires would be too worn, so it didn't let me put options on. And I don't recall, I thought we had at least 2 or 3 sets, so I don't know why I couldn't have run at least 3 options. Well, I was doing a 4 pit stop. Okay, there's J Digital getting real sloppy right there. I think he was having a little off day, he said. Yeah, at this point I'm feeling pretty good because there's one of the fast guys up front here, and of course probably the only reason I catch him in there is because he makes a mistake. But that's part of racing, you got to keep it clean. Although I'm running medium traction control today. I'm trying to wean myself off these driving aids. Although you can see that cornering is still on, and I know this track well enough. I probably don't need the corner markers, but it does help me spot that corner because I'm an older man. But ultimately, just cannot reel him in. Copper plate there is up to 7th. Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad. I cut a corner there. I'm surprised. I had a couple of corner cuts, and I'm surprised I didn't get a time penalty. Although I think my fastest lap of the day was. Here I feel I have an opportunity to maybe chase him down, but boy, just real quick. But running that medium traction control, so I think I'm able to get on the throttle a little bit, trying to mind my P's and Q's here so I don't spin it out. Boy, he really fast right here. Although I would admit I have a 11-year-old grandson, and he gets on the track with me on the weekends. We have two computers and two machines here, so we end up doing some practicing. But he was able to produce some low 108 times, so he kind of pushes me. Yeah, taking that apex pretty good here. There's a few corners I pushed a little too wide there, but for the most part, I felt overall satisfied with the race here today. I think I did about as good as I can do. Again, running the medium traction control, I think was a help. Although I was a little disappointed because I was doing low 110s in Grand Prix mode. .108 and time trial mode are consistent 109s, although that's going to be a little faster from what I understand. But just disappointed that I didn't really crank out at 110, so I just feel probably holding back here a little bit. Yeah, you definitely feel a little different in the race under race conditions than you do even when you're practicing. I guess as it should, right? Yeah, again, at this point, I realize Disco is 17 seconds back. I stayed out that one extra lap. I think I stayed out because I felt I was kind of in a groove. I wanted to stay out. I wasn't sure that strategy I was running was even good. I think at the end, some guys were disclosing they were on a 3-stop strategy than 4. Again, when that whole strategy set up, I felt 4 was just too much. Although I think there's a couple corners I overdrove it. I could feel the tires going away, but I think the little stints that we were doing between the last pit stop and this pit stop, you could still get some more, a few more laps out of the tires. But the fact that it didn't kiss the wall and didn't break a wing, I thought it was a pretty clean race overall. Here on lap 12, here I passed it on it again. I think at this point I feel like I'm gaining time on Disco there, and I think the last lap was 70, so I feel I got to get some more time out of him. Although I'm starting to get some rivalry between the mid-pack guys. Yeah, we got the top guys. We got the top guys that seem to be in a certain time bracket. Then we have the middle bunch, and then we have all the rest.